Vande Mataram, dear students. I will Sasar and today I am going to teach you chapter number 8, that is a short monsoon diary. Dear students, already you have known about diary writing and it is part of your grammar portion. So you must will be knowing about this. But in this chapter, let's know that how writer is writing, how author is writing about his experience that he had experienced and he is writing per day. Okay, let's know about this. June 24, what does he write on June 24? The first day of monsoon mist, and it's strange how all the birds fall silent as the mist comes climbing up the hill. Means writer was being surprised, writer was being astonished that completely first day of monsoon mist he is going to write, but he is feeling stunned that completely how all the birds can be silent as the mist comes climbing up the hill. Perhaps that what makes the mist so melancholy. Not only does it conceal the hills, it blankets them in the silence too. Means now he's thinking that now he's saying that why he is so sad, why this mist is so sad. Okay, and not only it conceal the hills while it blankets them in the silence too, means completely it is making that hills too silent. Only an hour ago the trees were ringing with bird song, and now the forest is deadly still as though it were midnight. Means before 1 hour there were many trees who were singing, but now everywhere there is silent. Through the mist, Bijju is calling to his sister, and I can hear him running about on the hillside, but I cannot see him. Okay, mist. Bijju is calling. Bijju, whom does Bijju calling? Bijju is whom Bijou is calling to his sister, and I can hear him running about on the hillside, but I cannot see him, but he can't see him. Okay, it is all about his experience, whatever he is experiencing, and he is writing in. Okay, means Ruskin Bond is writing on his first day, that completely about he is being astonished that why birds are not singing, why everything is not as it should be. Okay, so he being astonished. Let's know what happens on June 25. On June 25, he is writing that some genuine early monsoon rain, warm and humid, and not that cold high altitude stuff we have been having all year. Means completely he is comparing the rain also from previous year, and he's saying that completely it is not like that as we were completely experiencing, as we were experiencing in previous year. Okay, during previous year the plants seem to know it too, and the first cobra lily rears its head from the ferns as I walk up to the bank and post office. As that first cobra lily want to tell that completely he is alive, and he has walk up, it has walk up on the bank of to the bank and post office. The first mist affords a certainly privacy. A schoolboy asked me to describe the hill station and valley in one sentence, and I could say was a paradise that might have seen. Okay, when a schoolboy asked me to describe the hill station and valley in one sentence, then I described it saying that a paradise that might have been. Okay, that is, here is comparison that complete that valley seems to be a paradise. June 27, what happened on June 27? The rains have heralded the arrival of some seasonal visitor, leopard, and several thousand leeches. Yesterday afternoon, the leopard lifted a dog from near the servants' quarter below the school. In the evening, it attacked one of Biju's cow, but fled at the approach of Biju's mother, who came screaming imprecation. The rains have heralded the arrival of some seasonal visitor, a leopard, many, and several thousand leeches. Leeches means a kind of animal that lives in a kind of creature, you can say, that live in water and it sucks the blood of animal. Okay, so many kind of leeches and one leopard had arrived there. And yesterday afternoon, when others were sleeping, then leopard lifted a dog, and one day also a cow was attacked. It attacked on one of the cow of Biju's. Okay, so Biju's mother, if Biju's mother hadn't come, then it had taken that cow away. Okay, but Biju's mother came screaming, and it is because that cow was saved. As for the leeches, I shall soon get used to a little bloodletting every day. Means her per day they were taking little bit blood from each animal. Other new arrival are the scarlet minivates. The females are yellow, flitting silently among the leaves like brilliant jewels. No matter how leafy the trees, these brightly colored birds cannot conceal themselves, although by remaining absolutely silent, they sometimes contrive to go unnoticed. Along come a pair of drongos, unnecessarily aggressive, chasing the minivatives away. And he is describing about new one, and he is saying about scarlet minivates. That is a kind of very short creature, and that is like it is illuminating, it is giving light and like a brilliant jewels whenever it is sitting on trees, leafy trees. And how much that leafy tree is green, that doesn't matter, because when it sits on any trees, it makes bright that trees by their lighting. Okay, by their lights. In second page, he is describing that a tree creeper moves rapidly up to the trunk of the oak tree, snapping up insects all the way. Now that the rains are there is no dearth of food for the insectivorous birds. Means when a tree creepers moves rapidly up to the trunk. You had also seen many types of tree, and on that there are many kind of creepers that are plants also, snapping up insects all the way. And now when there is rain, then all kinds of insectivorous have, for them there is no dearth of food. Okay, let's know about second portion of this chapter. And on August 2, he is describing that all night the rain has been drumming on the corrugated tin roof. There has been no storm, no thunder, just the steady swish of a tropical downpour. It helps me to lie awake. At the same time, it doesn't keep me from sleeping. Means all night there was continued rain, and it is because it was drumming on the corrugated tin roof. It was roof of tin, and when the drops were falling on it, it was making noise. Okay, it is making noise. Just the steady swish of the tropical downpour every per means that night continuous there was downpour, and it is because he was unable to sleep, and that writer was waking up. It is a good sound to read by. The rain outside, the quiet within, and although tin roofs are given to springing unaccountable leaks, there is a feeling of being untouched by, and yet in touch with the rain. Through his experience, he is saying that completely in this we can hear that it is raining outside, but we are not in touch that rain, and we are also in touch. Also in touch means he can hear, though he can hear the voice of rain, but he is not getting any kind of effect from that rain. It is because he is in touch, and he is also not in touch of the rain. Further, he is describing on August 3 incident, 3rd August, what happened. Let's know. The rain stops, the clouds begin to break up, the sun strikes the hill on my left. A woman is chopping up sticks. I hear the tinkles of cowbells in the oak tree at crow shakes. The rain drops from the feather and cows disconsolately. Water drips from the leaking drain pipe, and suddenly clean and pure. The song of the whistling thrush emerges like a sweet secret from the depth of the ravine. Thus rain stopped. Next day there was no rain, and it is because the clouds begin to break up. The sun strikes the hill on my left. There was sunlight that was striking to the hill that was next to my home's left side, and a woman, whatever he saw that a woman was chopping up sticks. I hear the tinkle of cowbells. What did he hear? He heard the tinkle of cowbells. In the oak tree, a crow shakes the raindrops from the feather. He was shaking. Shaking means he was wet, and it is because he was shaking that to make it dry, water drips from a leaking drain pipe. As after the rain, you also can see that from your roof, the water would be draining from that pipe through. The water was coming up from your terrace. Okay. Clean and pure, the song of whistling thrush emerges like a dark, sweet secret from the depth of the ravine. Ravine, here ravine means valley. As from valley the water is flowing, the same kind of voice were coming as from the pipes of water through white water was flowing. Okay. On August 12, what happens? Let's know. Endless rain and a permanent mist. We haven't seen the sun for 8 or 9 days. Again, there was continued rain for 8 or 9 days. Everything damp and soggy. Now where to go? Pace the room. Look out of the window and few bobbing umbrellas. Whenever he is seeing outside of the window, there he saw that many people were with umbrella. Pace the room. Look out the window at the few bobbling umbrellas. Okay. The hillside are lush as late monsoon flowers begin to appear. Wild balsam, dahlias, begonias, and ground orchid. Okay, the hillside there were many kind of flower can be seen from them. There are wild balsam, dahlias, begonias, and ground orchid. On August 31, what is he describing? It is the last day of August, and the lush monsoon growth has reached its peak. The seeds, the seeds of the cobra lily are turning red, signifying that the rains are coming to an end. Okay, and on 31 August, he is describing that the lush of monsoon has reached on the peak, and after that, the seed of cobra lily are turning red, and it was seeming that rain is going to end. In a few days, the ferns will start turning yellow, but right now they are still fun, green and upright. Ground orchid, mauve lady, sleeper, and the white butterfly orchid put on fashion display on the grassy slopes of Landor. Wild dahlias, red, yellow, and magenta rear their heads from the rocky crevices where they have taken hold. Okay. In these lines, writer is describing that how other plants were changing as wild dahlias, red, yellow, magneta rear their heads means they were rearing their head as the rocky crevices where they have taken hold. From where they had holden, they had risen its head. Snakes and rodent flooded out of their holes and burrows, take shelter in roofs, attics, and go downs. A shrew week of eyesight blunders about the rooms, much to the amusement of children. Snakes and rodent flooded out their holes means they were coming out from their holes and burrows and take shelter in roofs, attics, and godowns. A shrew, weak of eyesight, blunder out of the rooms, much the amusement of the children. Children were amusing after seeing those things. Don't kill it, admonishes their grandmother. Chochundar are lucky, they bring money. Means if you will see Chochundar, they bring money. That is just a tale. And sure enough, I will receive a check in the mail, not a very large one, but will come at all the same. Okay, means that doesn't matter that what money I will get from that check, but I will definitely get a check and I will welcome that. On October 3, he is describing that we have gone straight from monsoon into winter rain. So snow at higher altitude. There is a snow on higher altitudes on October 3. After an evening hailstorms, the sky and hills are suffused with a beautiful golden light. Now there is a golden light on the icy hills and icy sky. Let's read the last page of this story, of this diary, of this chapter. On January 26, what happens? Writer is going to describe winter rains in the hills, in the huge silence of the house when I am quite alone and my friend who was here has gone. It is very lonely, very quiet as I sit in liquid silence, a silence within surrounded by the rhythm of rain, the steady drift. There is raining outside and writer is alone because as his friend is have gone, has leave him alone, and he is quietly observing the silence of rain and the rhythm of the rain, his steady drift of water on leaves, on lemons, on roof, drumming on drenched dahlias and windows pane. He is describing that how the rain is affecting trees, plants, lemons, and even the window panes. While the mist holds the house in a dark cares, there is a everywhere dark because the everywhere there is mist. As I pause near a window, the rain stops and start again. When I pause near a window, that there is a rain, no rain, but after that, after very few minutes, after very few of time, that it starts again. And the tree is no longer green but grey menace me with their loneliness. Okay, they are showing that completely you are not lonely, we are also with you. So, and what happened on March 23? He is describing late March, end of winter, the blackest cloud I have never seen spotted ever, Missouri, and then it had marbles for an half an hour. There was hailing marbles on 23 March. Nothing like a hailstorm to clear the sky. Even as I write, I see a rainbow forming. Whenever he was writing this diary, he could see that there was a rainbow that was formed, but he was thinking that there was no any kind of chances that there would be hailstorm, but it was hailing marbles. And as he is describing, then on 23 March he can see that was the light end of winter, and after that there is no any kind of description of this diary writing. So student, it was the explanation of this chapter. If you have any doubt, then you can ask to me on my WhatsApp number by calling me and by putting message. Bande mataram.